How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Nutes, Daf 59 of Masechta Nazir. Friends, today's Daf talks about the sugya of armpits and korbanos. Alright, I'm going to start in Daf Nun Chesamud Beis. So, Zok the Gemara at the two dots, about 6-7 lines from the bottom. Omer Rov says Rav, Mekel Adam Kol Gufa Basar. A fellow can remove all of the hair of his body with a razor. Of course, that does not include his beard and his payas, but his the corners of his face and his head. But other than that, he could remove all of the hair of his body with a razor, and that includes the armpits and the pubic hairs. Meisve, we have a kasha. Hamayver beis hashechu v'se'erva hareze loke. But how can you do this? We have a brayse that says if a fellow removes his armpit hairs and his pubic hairs, so then he gets makis. So how could Rav say that it's allowed? And for the Gemara, it depends. If you use a razor, so then makis. If you use scissors, it's okay. But Rav explicitly said, using a razor, that a fellow can remove all the hair of his body using a razor. Keintar. No, it means like a razor. So if you use like scissors and you cut very close to the flesh, so that's ki'ilu, you're using a razor, but you're not. So Rav says that would be okay. But to do a razor, you'd be chayiv malchus. Okay. Omer Reb Chia bar Abba, Omer Reb Yechanan, says Reb Chia bar Abba, the name of Reb Yechanan. Hamavir beis hashechi uveis erva loke. That says Reb Chia bar Abba, in the name of Reb Yechanan, that if a fellow removes his armpit hairs and his pubic hairs, so then he gets makis. Meisvip, we have a kasha. Havar ser eina midivrei teira ela midivrei sefer. But we have a brayse that says that removing your hair, I guess your pubic hairs and armpit hairs, is not also midoraisa. It's only also midorabonon. So how come Rabbi Yochanan is saying that you get makis? My lokanami de come midorabonon. Midorabonon you get makis. Makis mardus, I guess, right? So it would be derabonon makis. Okay, fine. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. Now, there are those who kind of up the ante, that they say that Reb Chia bar Abba says in the name of Reb Yochanan, Hamavir beis hashechi v'se'erva loke, that a fellow removes the hair of his armpits or his pubic hairs, loke gets makis, mishum lo yilbash gever simlas isha, because he quotes a pasuk now. Lo yilbash gever simlas isha, that a fellow should not wear the clothing of a fellow. So here, Rabbi Yochanan's upping the ante. He's quoting a pasuk. Sounds like it's midoraisa. But we have a brayse that says that removing the hair is only midorabonon, not midoraisa. Well, Rabbi Yochanan holds like a different Tana, who says that it's deoraisa. The Tanya, as we learn in the Brayse, a fellow removes his armpit hairs and his pubic hairs. Hareze over mishum lo yilbash gever simlas isha. That we have another Brayse that says taki like Rabbi Yochanan, that if a fellow removes his armpit hairs or his pubic hairs, so then he is in violation of the pasuk of lo yilbash gever simlas isha. A fellow should not wear the clothing of a fellow, and therefore I guess the assumption is that it's more of a fellow activity to remove the armpits than a fellow activity. So fellows should not be doing the things of the fellas, and therefore the fellows should not remove their armpit hairs. All right, very nice. So we see, according to this brayse, it's tak midoraisa, right? Because it quotes the pasuk of lo yilbash gever simlas isha. Okay, and we have another brayse that says that it's tak midorabonon. Now midorais, it's midorabonon. But Tanakamo, Hailo Yubash Gever, my Darishbe. So according to the opinion who says it's midorabonon, so then what do you? According to the Tana who says it's midorabonon, so what does he do with the pasuk that the other Tana quotes, which is Yubash Gever Simlas Isha? So Darishbe, my Darishbe, Miboy Leilich the Tanya. He needs it like in the following brayse, as it teaches in the brayse, Lo Yeh Kli Gever Al Isha, that it says that the vessels or the clothing of a fellow should not be on a fella, and then the pasuk continues and says that also a fellow should not wear the clothing of a fella. So my Talmud Omar, how come it says that? Im shelo yilbash ish simlas isha v'isha simlas ish. If it simply means that a fellow should not wear fella's clothing and a fella should not wear fellow's clothing, so arei kvar nemer to'evahi. But that's not quite pushing it far enough, because the pasuk says to'evahi. It's an abomination. To'avas Hashem Elokecha kol osei eila. It's an abomination. Okay, whatever your opinion is about cross-dressing, okay, that doesn't constitute an abomination. Ve'ein kan to'eva ela shel yilbash ish simlas isha v'yeshev ben hanoshim v'isha simlas ish b'seishev ben hanoshim. It means that a fellow should not wear the clothing of a fella with the intention of being able to sneak in and hang out among the fellas unnoticed or whatever. And a fella should not wear the clothing of a fellow so that she can go and hang out among the fellows, because that, I guess, can get to'evadik. So the opinion who says that removing your armpit, shaving your armpits, is a man to shave his armpits is midrabanon. So then, what does he do with the pasuk of lo yilbash gever simlas isha? He learns from there that not about shaving your armpits, but about you shouldn't cross-dress and then hang out with so that you can hang out with the opposite gender. Reb Eliezer ben Yaakov says, Reb Eliezer ben Yaakov, how do we know that a woman should not go out with weaponry to a battle? With what should she go out? Talmud Lomar lo yeh kli gever al isha, that the vessels of a fellow should not be on a fellow. V'lo yilbash gever simlas isha, and a fellow should not wear the clothing of a fella. Shelo yisakin ish b'tikune isha. A fellow should not do all sorts of the things of a fella, makeups and things, and that includes shaving the armpits. So we see that according to Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, he would learn that taka shaving the armpits is midoraisa. Oh, okay, fine. So we see it's taka machlekes tanoim. Is shaving your armpits also midoraisa or midarabon? Fine. Rav Nachman ben Nazir muter v'leisuch sakavasi. Rav Nachman says that when a Nazir is shaving his head, he can use it as an opportunity to chaparain, and in this specific context, he could also shave his armpits and his pubic hairs if he so wishes, but the halacha is not like Rav Nachman. Amulei Rabbanu Reb Shemin bar Abba. The rabbi said to Reb Shemin bar Abba, Chazina le Reb Yechanan deleisle. The rabbi said to Reb Shemin bar Abba, they said to him, look, let me tell you, Epis, Mitaka Sar Reb Yechanan doesn't have armpit hair. Amalo and Machma Zikna Nashu. So he said to them, don't worry about Reb Yechanan, he's old. Therefore, his armpit hairs fell out. There was a fellow who had to get makis, schayv makis before Rav Ami. Igloi beis hashechi, and they saw his armpits. Chazed lo megalach, and they saw he didn't shave his armpits. Amalo and Rav Ami shivku adein min chavrayu. So Rav Ami says, leave him alone. He's one of us. Okay. Ba minei Rav miribchia. Rav asked a kasha from his uncle Ribchia. Ma'od legaleach. Rav says, can a fellow shave his armpits? Amalei osir. No, you can't. Amalei v'okal godal. So Rav says, yeah, but what do you do when your armpit hairs gets long? Amalei by pachti zman yeshlo kozman shu godal nosher. He says, don't worry about it. When it gets long enough, it'll push it fall out. Don't worry about it getting too long. Ba minei Rav miribchia. Rav asked Ribchia, ma'olochuch. Can you scratch your armpits? Amalei osir. No, you can't. The big domal. What if you're wearing a shirt? Can you scratch your armpits under your shirt? Amalei mutter. He says, sure. Those who say that Rav asked Reb, what can you scratch your armpits while you're davening? Amalei osir. He says, no. The halacha is not like that. I guess you can scratch your armpits while you're davening. Okay, maybe it helps with kavana. Maybe if there's a lot of people in like a small area and there's no room to like shuckle, you can just scratch your armpits. Says the Mishnah on Daf Nutesim with Beis. So now the korbanis part of today's daf. Meis echod mehen. Excuse me, Babylon. So the Mishnah at the beginning of the parak talked about if you have Reuven the Nazir and Shimon the Nazir, and one of them is Tameh, but we don't know which one. So one of them is Tameh, one of them is Tahor. So we said, okay, so at the end of 30 days, you bring the korbanos of a Nazir Tameh and the korbanos of a Nazir Tahor, and they make a stipulation. If it's me, then the Tahor, then if I'm the Tameh one, then the Tameh ones are mine, etc. Then 30 days later, they bring the Tahor ones, and they say, if I'm the one who's Tahor, then they're mine. If not, then not. Whatever it is, then they're yours. Fine. So because we have both of them on hand, we can make stipulations. If it's me, if it's you, whatever. What if Reuven the Nazir dies? And now you have Shimon. Shimon doesn't know, is he a Nazir Tameh? Is he a Nazir Tahor? What does he do in terms of his korbanos? So what do you do? So Amr Rabbi Yehoshua says, Rabbi Yehoshua, Yevakish echad min hashuk sheidor kenegdo benazir. You should call in a favor. You should find some guy who owes you a favor and says, look man, I did you a favor, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to be a Nazir for me. Big ask. Big ask. Amr Rabbi Yehoshua, Yevakish echad min hashuk sheidor kenegdo benazir. Find a fellow, call in a favor, and say, say, hey, the Omer, and right. So if Reuven's dead, so Shimon the Nazir says, let's call him Levi. Shimon the Nazir says to Levi, Im Tameh Ayisi. So if I'm the one who's Tameh, there's some sunflower people outside. Some sunflower people. They're being all sunflowery and loud. So fine. So the Omer Im Tameh Ayisi. So let's call Levi the volunteer. So Shimon the Nazir says to the volunteer, he says, look, Im Tameh Ayisi, if I'm the one who is Tameh, right? Shimon doesn't know. Maybe he's a Nazir Tahor, maybe he's a Nazir Tameh, he doesn't know. He says, look, if I'm the Tameh one, Hari'ata Nazir Miyad, well then you're Tameh immediately. You're Tameh, what? No, if I'm the one who's Tameh, you are a Nazir effective immediately. Effective immediately. V'im Tahor Ayisi, and if I was not the Tameh one, if I'm the pure one, well then, Hari'ata Nazir Achar Shloshim Yom. Well then, you will start your Naziris in 30 days from now. Now, V'sofrim Shloshim. So now, at the end of the 30 days, U'mevi'in Korban Tumah V'Korban Tahor. Now, after 30 days, right, the assumption is that the stipulation was at the beginning of 30 days. So now they wait 30 days. V'omer. Now, on day 30, Shimon the Nazir says, did I skip? U'mevi'in Korban Tumah V'Korban Tahor V'omer. Now, on day 30, they bring both the Tumah Korbanos and the Tahor Korbanos. And now, Shimon the Nazir says, Im ani hu atameh, well, if I am a Nazir Tameh, well then, Korban Tumah Shali, Korban Tahor Shalcha. Because if I'm, right, the deal that we made is that if I'm the Tameh one, well then, your Nazirus begins immediately. And this was 30 days ago. Which means that here we are, after 30 days, if I'm the Tameh one, well then the Korban Tumah is mine, and you're now at the end of your 30-day Nazir experience, the Korban Tahor is yours. V'im ani hu Tahor. Now if I was the Tahor one, so the stipulation is that if I'm the Tahor one, then your Nazirus only starts today, only starts on day 30. Which means that Memele Korban Tahor Shali, right? If I'm the Tahor one, so now it's day 30, the Korban Tahor is for me. And again, your Nazirus is only starting now. The Korban Tumah B'Safek, and the Korban Tumah is B'Safek. Because I don't know, maybe I'm Tahor, maybe I'm Tameh, right? So we're bringing the Korban Tumah out of Safek. And what this means is that the Korban Tumah of a Nazir is an Ola Sa'of, a Chata Sa'of, and a Shlomim. So a Chata Sa'of is allowed to be brought in Safek, so that's no problem. The Ola, you could bring an Ola as an Adava, right? You can always bring an Ola as you can just donate it. So that's also okay. The Shlomim, not a Shlomim, an Osham. So the Ashram on the other end is problematic, and apparently you wouldn't bring that one. Okay, fine. So therefore Shimon says, look, if I'm the Tahor one, so then the Korban Tahor is for me, and the Korban Tumah is B'Safek. So we'll bring the Ola Sa'of and the Chata Sa'of B'Safek. V'Sofrim Shloshim Yom. Then they wait Nacha 30 days, another 30 days. U'mevi'in Korban Tahor, and then they bring a Korban Tahor. The Omer, and Shimon the Nazir says, Im ani hatameh, if I was the Tameh one, well then, Korban Tumah Shali, well then 30 days ago, the korban tumah that was offered was for me. The korban taira shelcha, and 30 days ago, the korban taira was for you, because our stipulation at the beginning was that if I'm the tameh one, then your nazirus starts immediately. So therefore, at the end of the first 30 days, if I was the tameh one, so then the korban tumah was for me and the korban taira was for you. Vizeh korban tairos. And now, 30 days later, I'm finally bringing my korban taira. We don't need to bring anything for you because you were sorted 30 days ago. Now, if I was the tahor one, then the deal that we made was that if I'm the tahor one, so then your nazirus only begins after 30 days. And now we're at day 60. So if I was the tahor one, then korban taira shali, well then 30 days ago, the korban taira was for me. The korban tumah b'safek, the korban tumah that we offered was b'safek. V'zeu korban taira, and the korban taira that we're bringing now is now for your nazirus that only started 30 days ago, right, at the end of the first 30 days, because now we're at the end of 60 days. You all with me? I hope. Amalo ben Zoma. Now says Ben Zoma. Ben Zoma is not super into Rabbi Yeshua's suggestion because umishomelo shiyoder kenegdo ben Nazir. Who in the world is going to volunteer to be a Nazir? That's a big favor to ask. Like, hey man, do me a favor. Can you be a Nazir for 2 months? Like that's a big deal. No wine. You know, wine's very tasty. Reb Dennis Lemaise, I think someone from the Jezreel winery, that's the one that your shtickle invested in, right? Lemaise, I think on Purim night, there's a photo of me. I think there's a photo of me dressed up as a sunflower guy, standing next to somebody who's involved in the Jezreel winery. I was reading the Megillah and he was reading, he was like standing next to me and looking into the Megillah, like as I was reading it. I think he's maybe you know him. Anyways, so Amalo ben Zoma. So says ben Zoma, Mishomelo sheyidur kenegdo ben Nazir. So who's going to listen to volunteer to be a Nazir? That's a big ask. Elo mevichatas of ve'olas behema. Rather, Reuven the Nazir is dead. Shimon the Nazir now has to figure out what to do by himself. So what does he do? So at the end of 30 days, he brings a chatas of. He brings a bird chatas, and that will count for his. That will be for his korban tumah, right? Just in case he's the tummy one, he's bringing his chatas of ve'olas behema, and he also brings an ola of a behema. Now, so how does this work? Well, if he's the tameh one, so then the chatas of is for his korban tumah, and the olas behema is would then just be a nedava. He makes a condition, right? If he's tameh, then the olas behema is just going to be a donation. And if he's the tahor one, well then the chatas of was brought besafik, which was okay, and the olas behema is going to be his ola for his nazirus. And he says, if I am the tameh one, then the chatas of is for my korban tumah, ve'ola nedava, and the ola is just a nedava, right? Because an olas behema is only at the end, right? When he's tameh, he would bring an olas ha'of. But if he's tahor, he brings an olas behema, and since he's tameh, so the ola is just going to be a donation. V'im tahor, you see, but if I'm tahor, ha'ola mechovasi, so then the ola, the korban ola, is the korban ola from the nazirus. Ve'achatas misafik, and the olas ha'of, the chatas ha'of is just that was brought out of suffix, out of doubt, and it turns out that it was irrelevant, but that's okay. Then he waits another 30 days, maybe korban taira, and then he brings a full korban taira. And he says, if I was the tameh one, well then ha'ola rishona nedava. Well then the ola that I brought a month ago was just a voluntary ola. V'zo chova, and this ola that I'm bringing now is the one that I need to be bringing at the end of my nazirus. V'im tahor you see, and if I was tahor all along, well then the ola that I offered 30 days ago, ha'ola rishona chova. Well then the ola that I offered 30 days ago was my obligatory ola that I had to bring for my nazirus. V'zo nedava, and the one that I'm offering now is just voluntary because I already offered the ola that I needed to a month ago. V'zo shar korbani, and along with it I am offering the shlamim that I need to offer and the chatas that I need to offer that accompany a nazir at the end of his nazirus. Rabbi Yeshua takes issue with Ben Zoma because he says in Ben Zoma's approach, you're splitting up the korban, right? If he was Tahor, so then he's bringing the Olas Behema at the end of 30 days, and then the Chatas and the Shlomim at the end of 60 days. He's dividing up the sacrifices. But nonetheless, the Chachamim sided with Ben Zoma. Says the Gemara Velaisi. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yoshua is concerned that he's dividing up his korbanos, that he's bringing the olas behema at the end of 30 days and the chatas and the shlomim at the end of 60 days. He's dividing it, between 2 months. Who cares? Let him divide it up. So Rav Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel that it's true, it makes no difference. Rabbi Yoshua was only making that point in order to sharpen the students to see how they would respond to his suggestion. But it's true, really, you could divide up the korbanos, it's not a big deal. Amar of Nachman, my lo'avid le Rabbi Yoshua l'dake de lo lisru. Okay? Nachman says, what does Rabbi Yoshua do about the intestines or the fats that they don't spoil? Because as part of the korban of the Nazir, you have to do tnufa, you have to wave the fats and stuff, and you can only do tnufa after you shave after the shaving of the Nazir. And the thing is, after I guess he shaves for his Nazirus. Now the thing is, he's only if he's only going to be shaving for his Nazirus, one of them is going to be after 30 days, the other one's going to be after 60 days. What are they just going to keep onto the fats for 30 days? What's going to happen to them? All right, friends, that was daf nun tes of Masechta Nazir. We talked about shaving your armpits. Is it also midoraisa, also midorabanan? And we talked about what do you do if Reuven in the Nazir and Shimon the Nazir, and one of them is Tameh, we don't know which one, and then one of them dies. So, Machlokes between Rabbi Yoshua and Ben Zoma. Friends, that's daf nun tes of Masechta Nazir. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.